I guess we have to begin with the royal family because that's what everyone's talking about. I know you've been
I've been very vocal.
You've been on top of it. So I have two questions, and the first one is a serious question because I really am hoping you can shed some light on this. Why does anyone care about these god-awful people?
Meghan Markle's explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey sent shockwaves across the globe, igniting a firestorm of controversy and dividing public opinion. Her accusations of racism within the British royal family, a revered institution steeped in tradition, left many reeling. Markle's claims painted a picture of a family and an institution out of touch with modern sensibilities, struggling to grapple with the complexities of race in the 21st century. The interview sparked a global conversation, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about race, privilege, and the enduring legacy of colonialism. The fallout from Markle's accusations was swift and severe, exposing deep-seated divisions within British society and beyond. Supporters rallied behind the Duchess of Sussex, praising her bravery in speaking out against an archaic and oppressive system. They saw her experience as a stark reminder of the systemic racism that continues to plague even the most seemingly progressive societies.
So we'll start with that. Why do you think people care that much?
So I have to say, I never had an appreciation for the royals, right? It's something that Americans don't really jive with. It never made sense to me, but I fell in love and married an Englishman, right? And so I kind of learned to appreciate the significance of the Queen and really understanding that there's been something in their country that has remained solid and has not changed over time. Difficult for Americans to comprehend because we don't really do tradition. We're kind of like tear it down, old building, tear it down, build something new, tear it down, build something new. So that's the reason I think that people follow the royals. Now, I don't care at all for the Harry and Meghan thing, except for the political undertones of somebody saying, I'm not liked, therefore it's because I'm 25% black. Like that stuff bothers me, whether we're talking about Democrats saying it, we see that pollution all throughout Hollywood. So this Hollywood star going into a country that really sort of loves its traditions, and then accusing them of being fundamentally racist. It's just like, let's keep the American BS race narrative, at least within the bounds of America. Let's not extend it overseas to Europe because they have a different culture there. They've been around much longer. England never had slaves in its country. And by the way, in terms of worldwide slavery, the Englishmen were the first to abolish it. So she's sort of relying on American ignorance and the race obsession in America and extending it overseas. It's really bothersome. It's irksome.
So do you think...
On the other hand, critics dismissed her claims as exaggerated or entirely fabricated, accusing her of playing the race card for personal gain. They argued that the British royal family, while not perfect, is not inherently racist and that Markle's experience was an isolated incident. The controversies surrounding Markle's accusations highlighted the fragility of race relations in a world grappling with its colonial past. Her interview served as a lightning rod, igniting passionate debates about race, identity, and belonging. It forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, our history, and the ways in which we continue to perpetuate systems of oppression. Whether one believes Markle's account or not, her story has undoubtedly left an indelible mark on the global consciousness, sparking a conversation that is long overdue. The impact of Markle's accusations extended far beyond the confines of Buckingham Palace, igniting a global conversation about race and privilege. Her interview became a catalyst for self-reflection, forcing individuals and institutions to examine their own biases and complicity in perpetuating systemic racism. The world watched as the British royal family, a symbol of tradition and stability, grappled with accusations of racism, a stark reminder that even the most powerful institutions are not immune to the scourge of prejudice.
The American media running to Meghan Markle's defense, do you think part of that is how they detest tradition in general, and so they don't like the royal family for that reason?
Yeah, I mean, think about where we are right now in America, right? That is sort of this cultural Marxist, everything that is from yesterday is wrong and needs to be torn down. Everything about America is wrong. We got to get rid of Christopher Columbus. Dr. Seuss is racist. So we are just obsessed with thinking that everything from the past is wrong. And sure, there were elements of the past that were definitely wrong, but in many ways we've thrown out the baby with the bathwater. And England is just a different place, right? I mean, their population, there's only 3% black people in England. It's a remarkably, compared to America, a very small country. And so it just sends, it's so ignorant. It's just the height of ignorance to me to have this D-list actress that nobody knew go over there. Her race is not discernible by the eye. If she walked in, you would never say Meghan Markle is a black woman, right? And then she says her son, who, if you've seen a picture of, and you think that he has faced anti-black racism in his life, then I'm a Nigerian prince, and I have, an account that you can send some money into. And it's frustrating. I think we're just tired of the race narrative here in America, and it's just obnoxious that we sent this girl over here to start the same thing overseas.
At the heart of this controversy lie Markle's claims of racism within the British royal family. She alleges that members of the family expressed concerns about the skin colour of her unborn child, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. These accusations, while deeply troubling, raise questions about the nature of racism itself. Is it possible that seemingly innocuous inquiries about a child's complexion could be rooted in prejudice? Or are we, as a society, too quick to ascribe malicious intent to every interaction? Markle's claims have been met with a mixture of disbelief and outrage. Some argue that her experiences are not indicative of systemic racism within the royal family, but rather isolated incidents blown out of proportion by a media hungry for scandal. Others, however, see her story as a prime example of the subtle yet insidious ways in which racism permeates even the most elite circles. The truth, as is often the case, likely lies somewhere in between. It is important to note that racism manifests itself in myriad ways, from overt acts of discrimination to more subtle forms of microaggression. While it is impossible to know the true intent behind the alleged comments about Archie's skin colour, it is crucial to acknowledge the very real impact such remarks can have on individuals of colour. Even seemingly innocuous inquiries can carry with them the weight of centuries of prejudice and discrimination, leaving individuals feeling othered and devalued. The controversy surrounding Markle's claims underscores the importance of engaging in open and honest conversations about race and racism. We must be willing to listen to and learn from the experiences of others, even when those experiences make us uncomfortable. Only then can we begin to dismantle the systems of oppression that continue to plague our society. As a black woman navigating a world often hostile to my very existence, I am no stranger to the sting of racism. I have faced discrimination, both overt and covert, throughout my life. However, my personal experiences have taught me that racism is not always the straightforward, easily identifiable monster we often imagine it to be. Sometimes it lurks in the shadows, disguised as curiosity or concern. Other times, it is wielded as a weapon, a tool to silence dissenting voices and maintain the status quo. In my own life, I have encountered individuals who, with the best of intentions, have made comments that, while not intended to be hurtful, revealed underlying biases and prejudices. These experiences have taught me the importance of grace and understanding. Not all who err are motivated by malice. Sometimes education and open dialogue can be more effective tools in combating prejudice than accusations and condemnation. That being said, I am also acutely aware of the very real and pervasive nature of racism. I have seen firsthand how it can poison minds, divide communities, and destroy lives. I've witnessed the devastating impact of systemic racism, which perpetuates cycles of poverty, inequality, and injustice. To deny the existence of racism is to deny the lived experiences of millions of people of color around the world. It is this nuanced understanding of racism, informed by both personal experience and critical analysis, that leads me to question the narrative being spun around Meghan Markle and her experiences within the British royal family. While I do not doubt that she faced challenges and perhaps even prejudice during her time as a royal, I believe it is important to approach her claims with a critical eye, separating genuine experiences of racism from opportunistic attempts to exploit racial sensitivities for personal gain. While some may view Meghan Markle as a victim, a helpless pawn caught in the crosshairs of a racist institution, I see a different narrative unfolding. A narrative driven by ambition, manipulation, and a carefully crafted public image designed to elicit sympathy and garner support. Markle, in my view, is a master of her own destiny, a shrewd operator who has skillfully leveraged her platform to advance her own interests, even at the expense of others. From the outset, Markle's relationship with Prince Harry was presented as a modern fairy tale, a testament to the power of love to transcend racial and cultural barriers. However, as time went on, cracks began to appear in this carefully constructed facade. Markle's relationship with her own family became increasingly strained, culminating in a public estrangement that raised eyebrows and fueled speculation about her true character. Her treatment of palace staff, as reported by numerous sources, painted a picture of a demanding and entitled duchess, far removed from the compassionate humanitarian she portrayed herself to be. Allegations of bullying and mistreatment, while vehemently denied by Markle and her supporters, cast a shadow over her carefully cultivated image, raising questions about her motives and her willingness to exploit others to achieve her goals. It is this pattern of behavior, this consistent disregard for those who dare to challenge her narrative, that leads me to question the veracity of her claims against the British royal family. Is it possible that a woman so adept at manipulating the media, so skilled at controlling her public image, would hesitate to leverage the sensitive issue of race to garner sympathy and deflect criticism? I believe not.